Welcome back. Talking weather with meteorologist Tom Sherry in
Yeah.
for us tonight. Tom, we were just talking during the break about, it's obviously extremely hot today.
Yes.
This is the hottest we've been so far, but it's going to keep getting hotter, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think tomorrow will probably be the hottest day of the week. Should be another record breaker if you missed the beginning of the broadcast. 102 today. The good thing, if there is a good thing here, is that our evening lows are still cooling down into the 60s and in some of the outlying areas 50s. So we may get lucky enough to actually, cool our house down overnight. I know this is difficult for folks that don't have central air conditioning or have any air conditioning at all. So I get that this is a problem. But at the same time, what you hope to do is you're keeping the house closed up right now. And then when the sun sets and it starts to get cooler outside than it is inside, open up those windows, get those big box fans going and cool yourself off, right? As I mentioned before, or that neighbor who's got central air, time to make friends. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, folks. I wish I could tell you that this was all going to change. I don't think we're going to see record highs next week, but we are going to be in the mid to upper 90s for the remainder of this, or like say from Thursday on into the weekend, and then 90s next week. So you can see we continue with above average temperatures. How about a good soaking rain? Maybe at 10 o'clock at night until about 5 in the morning. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. I'm sorry about that. 6 to 10 day forecast. Again, we're going from July 15th out to July 19th, out past the middle of the month. And you can see that we're tracking mostly average to below average precipitation up here in the Pacific Northwest. Well, that is a new record high, 102 degrees in Spokane, 107 right now in Ritzville, 107 in Omak. My gosh, 104 for our viewers out in Moses Lake, 98 degrees right now in Coeur d'Alene. Over the next 12 hours, I talked about trying to cool the house down. Well, really, it's not until we start getting till after midnight that we really begin to see some of these cooler temperatures. But look at this. By tomorrow morning, we're down to 66 degrees. Again, that gives us another shot to keep the house cool in the morning and then close everything up. And we're not getting much in the relief from a breeze. But having said that, with these dangerously hot temperatures, we really don't want real windy conditions because, of course, that adds to the fire danger. That's the heat dome that Whitney Ward was talking about across the Pacific Northwest. We're hot, not just here. There's excessive heat also going on down in California, where there are fires burning in Northern California. Temperatures around the region, oh my gosh, 108 degrees expected out in Grand Coulee, and the low there only dropping down to 73 tonight. Deer Park, you're up to 103, but delightfully cooler in the overnight hours. We'll drop down to 64 in Newport, but again up to 102. 98 expected in Sandpoint. Coeur d'Alene will break 100 degrees for the first time this season. We'll look for 102 in St. Mary's, 102 in St. John, and Wilbur at 103. Again, look at these overnight lows, though. Gives us a fighting chance to cool things back down, especially for folks, again, that don't have the benefit of air conditioning or don't want to have that huge bill at the end of the month. So very hot weather continuing. 109 expected in the Lewiston area. So 105 tomorrow. Then we've got a weak cool front moving through. It'll be breezy on Thursday. Look for a daytime high of 96, 97 on Friday. And then we get a little bit warmer as we head into the weekend. Not hundreds, but close. 98 on Saturday. Again, those overnight lows, though, that's the positive thing I think about this 7-day forecast, is they drop back down into the mid-60s.
Yeah,
wow.
It makes all the difference, doesn't it, Tom?
It sure does.
All right, thank you very much. And